After months of pleas from the Ukrainians, America has finally allowed Ukraine to use US missiles to strike deep inside Russian territory. So is this the game changer that could turn the tide in Kyiv's favour? The Americans had already provided Ukraine with the MGM-140 Army tactical missile system, but there were limitations on its use. Known as ATACMS, they're long-range ballistic missiles that can strike targets 186 miles away with a warhead that can hold about 375 pounds of explosives. ATACMS can have two types of warhead, a single high-explosive variant, as well as a warhead that can carry cluster munitions. Ukraine has said they could be used to stop or slow down troop movements or destroy Russian air or military bases, which would help Ukraine in the defence of its own territory. And this map shows how far the missiles could reach inside Russia and the potential targets. They include airfields, ammunition warehouses, radars, and missile bases. Now, on the face of it, it's a big military edge, but the Russians are already responding by moving hardware and personnel out of range. The Biden administration has made clear it's the presence of North Korean troops here in the Kursk region that pushed them to change their minds on the use of ATACMS. It means the Ukrainian army can now use them to repel Russia's anticipated counteroffensive in Kursk. Ukraine captured this territory in August and is now attempting to defend it. President Biden's decision will likely see the British government follow suit, allowing the use of its Storm Shadow missiles. Storm Shadow has a shorter range, about 155 miles, and it's launched from an aircraft. But the Russians are furious, seeing this latest development as a major provocation as it crosses some of Putin's red lines. They've not made clear how they'll respond, but a response is coming. It could take the form of support for the West's enemies or even a cyber attack on its interests.
The Russians are plainly very angry. There are things they could do. They could, for example, supply missiles to the Houthis to use against Western tankers in the Red Sea. I think they're likely to be quite constrained because they are looking forward to Trump's arrival in the anticipation that Trump will put pressure on Ukraine towards doing some sort of a deal. And they won't want to take any actions which complicate the likelihood of that.
Allowing long-range weapons to be used deep inside Russia is a major development. It will certainly be a boost for Ukraine's morale at a time when it's losing ground in the Donbass. But it's unlikely to change the trajectory of the war in isolation. The deep strikes will, though, be a complication for Moscow. It will make it more difficult for President Putin to present the war as an overwhelming success, especially if Russian military assets start blowing up well inside its territory.
Shalom Ka'Allah, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, and bishops of Great Millstone, who the rule teach well. Peace and blessing salutations to the hopefully elect, Tabernacle of David, the sincere, Akim, and Aquath out there listening and learning, keeping the faith and diligence of our Lord Yahweh Shai. So, as you just saw in this opening clip right here, escalations of war, World War III, the end of this age continues to manifest itself. So now, the Joe Biden cabinet has allowed Ukraine to strike inside Russia with long-range U.S. missiles. And if you've been paying attention to what's been going on that front of war over there in Ukraine since it started, it's really been NATO against Russia, but in a proxy war. All right? And Putin knows that he's been fighting NATO. It hasn't just been Ukraine, because within the first 6 months of the Ukraine war, Russia ran through Ukraine. Ukraine barely had men to put out on the front lines to fight because Russia gained so much ground. And by the way, Russia wasn't even using its full military force at that time, just a small portion of it. And they ran through Ukraine. So what the West ended up doing was they ended up sending NATO troops into Ukraine to fight, but they dressed the NATO troops up as Ukrainian soldiers. Well, come to find out that Putin soldiers, and Putin is aware of this himself. This is why he's doing what he's doing now towards the West. But he's been made aware that French troops have died in Ukraine. English troops have died in Ukraine. All right. Italian troops, German. You see? So Putin knows that he's fighting against NATO. He's been fighting against NATO. And the U.S. really in a proxy war. But dog tags, so-called dog tags and, identification and tattoos and stuff. This is how he found this out. So now Biden has given the okay for Ukraine to strike deep within Russia with long-range missiles that have been provided by America. So this right here is a major escalation of war. And there's many other things that are going on right now. All right, let's go here. This is from the Mirror. World War III fears as Sweden tells citizens to prepare for nuclear war and stockpile food and water. So up there on the northern front, Finland, Sweden, cords, cables have been being cut for the internet. They've been having cyber attacks on their grid. And this is what you have now. All right, you have pamphlets being handed out in Sweden and Finland telling the citizens will read, the government in Stockholm has updated its quote, if crisis or war comes document from 6 years ago because of the quote, worsening security situation following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Sweden has issued 5 million pamphlets warning its citizens to stockpile food and water, just hours after Vladimir Zelensky chilling video address to Vladimir Putin warned U.S. missile strikes, quote, will speak for themselves. The government in Stockholm has updated its if crisis or war comes document from 6 years ago because of the worsening situation following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. It comes just as Washington has given the green light for U.S. missiles to be used to strike inside Russian territory for the first time. All right. So NATO is going all out. And really, they're trying to provoke an all-out war before Trump gets into the office. Because Trump, he's talking about bringing peace. He's talking about ending the wars with Russia and China and North Korea. All right. That's what his agenda is, right? So the Biden cabinet, they're like, hey, throw everything you got. All right. We about to give the green light to strike directly into Russia with our long-range missiles. All right. Hoping to provoke Putin to send his troops to NATO on that Finland-Sweden border, you see, so that things can escalate to the point of no return. All right. So Amalek is crazy, man. You see, this is what is coming. Matter of fact, this is what is here. All right. We seeing these things happen. All right. So clearly, we told you, no matter who gets into the office, if Kamala would have won, guess what? The wars would have been even more forward and intense. But you have this confusion now because you have Trump. He's like, I want to end the wars. I want to bring peace. But you still have Biden that's in there still escalating things. You see? So these Edomites, they're divided. They're not of one mind. They're not of one speech. You see? The Egyptians are divided, man. And Yahweh Shah said, a kingdom divided against itself cannot stand. So America is definitely in a rapid state of decline. All right. Their enemies are about to get the upper hand because what you have is America spread out too thin on so many fronts, man. All right. America and NATO, they don't have the personnel nor the firepower to fight against the BRICS. You see, then furthermore, the BRICS are going to be even more in control when Russia and China cuts off the supply to the EU. And right now, look at what's going on. Europe, they're not getting resources from Africa like that anymore because Russia is kicking them out. Okay, Russia is being a guard unto the African nations. Russia is helping them, all right, kick out the West. And that's a strategic war move because that's where Europe gets most of their resources from, if not all. All right, so now that Europe is being kicked out of Africa, the resources are drying up. Of course, we also know, I went into it yesterday, that the population of Europe, those Edomites over there, they're going through a mass population decline. So they don't have the soldiers, they don't have these vast armies to fight this war. You see? So when Russia and China pulled the ultimate chess move and cut the EU off from receiving any kind of natural resources, any kind of food and aid, all right, because the whole world really goes through China. You see what I'm saying? Like, even America. Once America gets cut off from China, it's all over. You see? Your pharmaceuticals are going to dry up. Your supermarkets are going to dry up. This whole society is going to go crazy. So Russia, Putin, he's been very patient, you see, with this whole war, because he understands that things could die down or they could increase. But let me just hold out for a little bit and get myself together. Let's build up a game plan so that we know how to attack. America, they just been sloppy, man. NATO, they've been sloppy, and they're in a position where they can't afford to be sloppy because they don't really have the means to defend themselves against Russia when they do invade. All right, so they on their own, because look, America damn sure ain't gonna be there when Russia gets up into Western Europe, man. Finland and Germany investigate severed undersea data cable. In a joint statement, the two countries said the damage comes at a time that one, European security is not only under threat from Russia's war of aggression against Ukraine, but also from hybrid warfare by malicious actors. Finland and Germany are investigating a severed undersea data cable which runs between the two countries in the Baltic Sea, and they believe that Russia is behind this. All right, a joint statement was issued where they both expressed concern over a potential act of sabotage and said an investigation is underway. The fact that such an incident immediately raises suspicions of intentional damage speaks volumes about the volatility of our times. Yeah. The fact that you have so much going on, like you're being attacked from every angle. You know what I'm saying? Like, Esau's really paranoid right now. Esau's so paranoid, he don't even trust himself. Right? Esau is about to turn on himself, man. NATO and the EU is about to be in disarray. You already see it. That's why that Revelation 17 and 16 is going to be fulfilled very soon. Right? Because like I said, once Russia and China cuts off the supplies to Western Europe, it's over, man. All right, it's over, because America's not going to back up NATO, their European allies. They're going to be on their own. So that's why at that last moment, Europe is going to be like, America blew up the Nord Stream pipeline. They destroyed our economies. They weakened our military. We over here fighting in Ukraine. We in Gaza and Lebanon. They all spread out all over. All right. So that hatred and vitriol against America within Europe is increasing. We've gone into the lessons, especially over the past 2 weeks. Like, this news has been building up, but it's because these prophecies are about to be fulfilled. Habakkuk 2 and 3, the vision is yet for an appointed time. These things are about to be fulfilled in their said measure. You see, it said that the discovery comes at a time that, quote, European security is not only under threat from Russia's war of aggression against Ukraine, but also from hybrid warfare by malicious actors, adding that it is crucial that such critical infrastructure be safeguarded. And if your power grid gets knocked out, if your internet gets knocked out, that's your whole military, man. Because the way these armies are set up now, I mean, you have to have logistics, analytics, because a lot of these things are run off drones. Like, you have to have the data which runs through the internet to be able to operate, efficiently. But with this right here being cut off, it ain't looking too good, man. All right, so Europe is now fighting on the back foot, and Russia, they're about to take advantage, man. And it's all because of America. Okay, wasn't it America that gave the go ahead? Joe Biden told Ukraine to fire into Russia. So now Russia's response is, okay, cool. Now we gonna destroy your infrastructure. We're gonna take down the cables within the sea. We're gonna cut off trade to Western Europe. It's about to be full on war, and it's all because of America. You see, that's why Europe is going to separate from America, man. And even they are going to shoot missiles over to Babylon the Great and burn this place up, as it is written. All right, let's go there real quick. Revelation 17 and 16, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, representing NATO and the EU, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For Yahweh Bashmel Shai hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of Yahweh Bashmel Shai shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city, which reigneth over the kings of the earth, which is America. Okay, America is that great city. You see? So Europe is gonna, well, they already do hate America. You see, that's the whole thing about it. They already do. But the time is gonna come where that proverbial straw that breaks the camel's back is gonna occur. And then it's gonna be, just a big F you to America, man. All right, Europe gonna do their own thing. They're gonna join with Russia. They're gonna join with North Korea and China. All right, because even right now in Ukraine, the situation is bad. Ukraine is losing ground. All right, they can't keep this war going up. So really, they're at a point where they're ready to concede defeat. But America is like, no, you see, now we got to go to the next level. Now we got to strike within Russia. All right. This is their rallying cry to keep this war going. All right. All the while, they have a ground offensive still taking place in Gaza, still taking place in Lebanon. All right. All these places, the Middle East is on fire. And instead of stopping the wars, they want these things to continue. But we understand that these things are happening because it's the will of Yahweh Bashmel Shai. The book must be fulfilled. Let's go to Luke 21. Luke 21, the return of Hamashiach. And Luke 21 and 25. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. And that cloud right there represents a so-called UFO, all right, which are the chariots of the Most High, all right, because that's what's going to occur during the midst of this World War III, the Battle of Armageddon. Yahweh Shai and the heavenly host, they're going to crack the clouds, and they're going to come back and put these heathens down. All right, that's going to be that final war. You see? And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. All right, so the things we see happening in this earth, war-wise, society-wise, this place being broken down from every angle, these things are for us to know that our redemption, our salvation is near at the door. All right, for us to lift up our heads and be glad, be happy, continuously praying to the Lord that he have mercy upon us, because this is how close that we are. You see? Meanwhile, as it says in verse 25, upon the earth is distress of nations. These nations are distressed. When you go to Matthew 24, Yahushua told you that a sign of his coming would be that what nation would rise against nation. There would be wars and rumors of wars. There would be pestilence, diseases all around. All right. These are the things that we see happening in today's time. So Yahushua is near at the door, man. This is why, the header for these for this right here is the return of a Mashiach. Okay? You can reference it, Matthew 24 and 29, 31, and Mark. These are the references, man. All right? Precepts to these scriptures here. You see? So look, man. We're in that time where you got to be serious, man. Like, you got to be tapped into Yahweh by Shemel Shai, because, really, nothing else matters. All right? Nothing else matters, man. Like, we really in crunch time. All right? Isaiah the 24th chapter. Isaiah 24 and 20. Matter of fact, 19. The earth is utterly broken down. The earth is clean, dissolved. The earth is moved exceedingly. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage. And the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it. And it shall fall and not rise again. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth. And they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and shall be shut up in the prison, and after many days they shall be visited. All right? So the Lord, he is coming to punish the host of the high ones that are on high. All right? These elites, Amalek, the elite bankers, all right? Those that have power and that run the affairs of this world. And the kings, okay, these leaders, okay, even Vladimir Putin, Xi Jinping, all right, Kim Jong-un, the Lord is coming back, Joe Biden, Trump, you see, these West, all these kings, all these leaders, man, the Lord is coming back to put them down, because this is the end of their reign on the earth. This is the end of their time to rule, and Yasha Allah got next. You see, the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard. You know what I'm saying? That's going to happen when them nuclear missiles touch down, man. All right? Because one nuke has so much force that it's like a mini earthquake, man. All right? So imagine hundreds of thousands of missiles touching down, man. That's going to make the earth shake. You know what I'm saying? That's going to make the earth reel to and fro like a drunkard. All right? It's going to be a violent shaking going on in that day, man. For all the violence, all these wars, heavy artillery. You see bombs going off, man. The ground is going to be shaking nonstop. You see? This is what the Lord has in store for the end of this world. It ain't nothing nice. And on top of that, you have a draft that's coming back. You see? Esau, he's going to institute a draft because, look, the war is so serious that Sweden is handing out pamphlets to their citizens telling them to prepare for nuclear war and to stockpile food and water. This is how real that it is. All right, the government here in America, they're not really, putting the seriousness of these wars in front of you like that. They pretty much distracting you from what's really going on. But over there in Europe, they telling their citizens, listen, this thing is so serious that you need to get yourself ready. You need to get yourself prepared, man. And that's the message of the prophets, but spiritually, all right? Because no amount of food and water is going to prepare you for the vengeance, the wrath of Yahweh Bashim Shai. All that is going to work against you if the Lord ain't with you, period. All right, but this is how real it is. This is how real in the field that it is, man. All right? And no doubt, you have many other EU nations, Germany, Finland, they telling their citizens the same thing. Because this is realized now, okay? With the move that Biden just gave, it's go time, all right? Russia, they ain't about to hold no punches. Now, we'll see what happens in the next few months with this Trump presidency, but as it is right now, it's looking like they really pushing for this war to get hot, all right? And once again, that draft is going to come back, man. All right, why you think a few months back they had put that bill out there? I forget the exact name of it, but it basically said that anyone that's 18 to 26, you're automatically registered for the selective service. Okay, so 18 to 26, they gonna be the first ones to get thrown on the front lines. And guess what? It's not going to stop there. All right, they're just going to be the first batch. But once that demographic die off, they're going to raise the age. They're going to say 26 to 40, and then 40 to 45. All right, because Esau, he trying to depopulate the earth, so he going to throw them bodies into the meat grinder. All right, so. Yeah, man, with that, I just wanted to touch on that real quick. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying through the Rakah Kadash. In closing, call halal. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakah Kadash. And until next time, Lord willing, shalom to the elect. Come Yasha Allah and Abad Ba. Shalom.